Hey everyone, and this is a video I'm going to react to on YouTube called Reacting to Bad Dating Advice on TikTok. This is from Courtney Ryan, which I checked her out a little bit on YouTube. A little bit before this video, I just wanted to get like a heads up start to the video. Like not a kind of a heads up on like the channel and stuff like that. And she's a men's dating coach, where she coaches men and teaches them like stuff about like about how to get a woman. She's like a straight male, straight female dating coach, and she tailors it towards like men. And typically, you don't always see like female dating coaches for women, or for men. I should say. I said women, but female dating coaches for men that focus just exclusively on the men's point of view, like the man's point of view. You usually don't see that, and it's on like everything from like how to dress, like how to dress in the wintertime, like like what accessories look best, like what looks best in the summertime, like what to wear on a first date, like first date etiquette, like green flags in women and men, and like red flags for women and men. She also has stuff like how to date being an introvert, like when you're like shy and more like reserved, like how to date with like little to no experience, like maybe you're a virgin, you maybe struggle to find dates, maybe you've prioritized like other things like going to college, like prioritizing your education, your own self first. Maybe you're a late bloomer, maybe you weren't in it to date. Maybe you just were like, it doesn't interest me, and then you realize, later on in life, it interests you. Or, maybe you've had a bad breakup or something, and then that kind of, like, took you, a while to, like, get out of it, and stuff like that. So just a bunch of different types of videos, which I like. It's on everything so let's get right to it. This has to be a good video because, people can say, like, the wildest things on social media. So this has to be a good one. So let's try it.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I'm going to be doing another TikTok reaction video, but this time it's going to be some different people. I've seen some of these videos floating around the internet, some mixed feelings about them,
Yeah,
and I
can
just
really
kind
see
of wanted
that.
to give my insight and my take because the last TikTok reaction video that I did, you guys absolutely loved it, and I think it helped shed a little bit of light on some of the really bad advice and just insights and things that people say on the internet that are not necessarily the greatest. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to be in the loop for when I release new content. So I'm just going to play the video and then kind of give some of my insight, my opinion on it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I always love to hear from you guys on these kind of things as well. I have a feeling these are going to be a little bit brutal if they're anything like the last ones that I did. I sometimes will just go through TikTok and I won't even watch an entire video. I'll just look at the views and I'll save it to my camera roll. So I don't even know if I've seen some of these before, maybe like once, but it's been a while.
Alright, so how I'm gonna react to it is I'm gonna like do I'm gonna do my reaction after the video's over, and then I'll respond to like her reaction to it, which it will make it for good entertainment. Should, because people like it. Like, she's right though. People on like social media, it doesn't matter where it is, like TikTok, like Facebook, you can have YouTube, you can have Instagram, like X now it's called, but Twitter. You can have like Threads, basically like any social media out there. But like the popular social medias, like that, definitely like the popular social medias, definitely are going to get more, like more of these on there. But well, it is what it is. I mean, but let's go talk about it.
So let's see what we're getting ourselves into today.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see do you hold your chopsticks correctly. We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay, so dinner it is.
Ugh, I don't like that because that's a bad thing. Because, like, seriously, like, I mean, I understand maybe the walk right away at the beginning, but I mean, like, maybe if you do like the coffee part, then the walk, okay, sure. But like, I don't like they're gonna judge you on how you hold chopsticks. Like, what if you're someone like me that doesn't eat like Chinese food really, and I want to go to like a Chinese restaurant or like eat sushi at a Japanese restaurant, use chopsticks. I don't use chopsticks really. Like, are you really gonna judge someone on how they eat with how they use chopsticks at a restaurant? Like, yeah, that's not the greatest. Mm.
Wait, I can't tell if she's joking or she's serious. Where do I even begin with this? It's one thing to have standards, right? I think we're all allowed to have standards. We're all allowed to have preferences. But I think having standards and being entitled and having this princess mentality are two very different things. And I don't want to say a lot about this girl because I can't judge someone just based off of one video. But this is enough for me to know that as a guy, I would not want to take this girl out, okay?
Me neither.
Because it's clear that the princess mentality and the entitlement is shining through. If you don't appreciate a coffee date or going on a walk together with coffee or ice cream, why should I take you on a dinner date? What have you done to deserve that?
Exactly.
Nothing. And I'm not saying that, girls aren't allowed to have preferences and want to go out with a guy that, pays for her meal or whatever. I think it's normal for a girl to want to go out with a guy and him pay for her meal if that's something, that you guys agree on and, whatever. Unless you're going out with like a crazy feminist that wants to pay for your meal or her own meal because she doesn't like you. I don't know. There's so many different scenarios now, it's really hard to say. But as a guy, if I saw someone say something like this, it would be a very big red flag for me. Because I think that you should want to be with someone that appreciates the small things too and understand that, not every meal needs to be at a 5-star restaurant or,
Exactly.
spending $1,000 on you in a day or
Totally.
taking you out to a really fancy dinner. It's really sad that our society has gotten to this point where, you view going for a walk or getting coffee with someone as like a peasant activity. There's so
That is
much beauty in
bad
the
right
small
there.
things in life. And I think sometimes with things that
Go
are
to
being
that.
portrayed all over social media and this idea that everyone is living this very luxurious lifestyle, I think it's sometimes very detrimental to everyone, especially women, because I think a lot of girls get this false sense of reality of what dating someone is like and what a relationship is like. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's hard parts too. And I'm not trying to get really deep about a first date here, but if someone doesn't appreciate, just spending time with you and going for a coffee date or the little things in life, then they don't deserve the big things. That's really
Exactly. They
entitled
don't.
and very princess-esque. You're not a princess, my friend. And this girl's stunning. I think she has a filter on, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but she looks beautiful. Like she could get a nice guy, but is a guy gonna want you if you act like that? I don't know.
Give me a 10 out of 10. That's,
Yikes. Also, guys, there's a fly in this room. I can hear it. I hope you can't hear it, but
I
it's
can't.
flying around. It's driving me nuts. Yikes, that was rough. She said she didn't want to go on a walk because she's not a dog. It's getting to know somebody. I went on a first date once for coffee, and it was like one of the best first dates I've ever had. We sat and talked and got to know each other. It was great. All right.
All right. Yeah, that is kind of a shame. Like I didn't say this, but I was thinking it. But yeah, like, why do I want like $1,000 meal, like the first date to really get paid for? If I like, if you're a woman, if you're a, I know like they expect a man to pay for stuff. Okay, I get it. You know, but don't make a guy pay for $1,000. Are you like, did you like grow up like luxurious? And you expect that? Okay, maybe that stunts your opinion. I get that. You know, maybe you're used to that when you're growing up. Having expensive with your family. It might be $1,000 for like a night out. Okay, because you have like your siblings. You may have like 5 people. Okay, and your like parents are rich, make more money. Okay, I get that. But or you're just one of those people that like, oh, I social media. Well, I see all these people are rich and famous. Well, maybe I should get a rich and famous like boyfriend, take me out on a date. And I understand the part about not wanting maybe drinks and stuff. Like right away on the first date, if you get too drunk, and then you're gonna have like the sex part. Possibly, I get that one when she's drunk, or something, or want to sleep with her. I get that one totally. But seriously, like you know, but like, why would you want? Why would you want someone that doesn't appreciate like coffee, doesn't appreciate like walks? Like, yeah, I know, like Courtney said, like that is totally true. Like coffee and like walk be peaceful, like and relaxing. I think I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I do love a good walk outside. I honestly do. Like, it's kind of nice and peaceful to hear like the sound, like nature, and even if you're just like like where I am in a small town, you just walk around like the streets and stuff, like the side roads and that. It's kind of nice and peaceful. Be out in nature, get the fresh air, hear sights and sounds. Kind of. I don't know. That's just me. And then you can, especially with someone you want to get to be into with, you can ask them like that questions like, what do you do for work? You know, like what are your hobbies? You can do that at the coffee place, but you also do that like on a walk. It's kind of, I don't know, you know, like you're not just sitting at a table. You're actually like, and you can ask them other things about like nature and stuff, kind of like open the air, I guess. You want to say, you want to call it, but yeah, I don't know. I get it. You know, a little bit of it, but it's pretty bad though. If you want someone to pay for like a $500, $1,000 5-course meal, like, absolutely not. No way. And I know what she's saying about the dog walking. Like, yeah, but it's like I'm not a dog, like like a slave or something. Like, like no, we're not. It's not like that. It's like let's enjoy ourselves, have a good time. You know, I don't know.
Bro. So I just got done with this date, right? It's going fine. We're just chopping it up, normal stuff, whatever, whatever. Ask her what she does. She tells me, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. She also tells me she's a boss ass bitch, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool too. I respect that. Like, truthfully, I do. And so I try to change the subject, and just out of nowhere, she goes off on this rant, bro, all of it. Like, she's just like, I don't need a man for shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm strong and independent. I'm doing my thing, all of it. And I'm just like, okay. In my head, I'm like, okay, this attitude is out of this world. So this ain't going nowhere. So I'm just gonna have fun with it. So I'm like, I'm gonna start gassing her up. So I'm like, oh, hell yeah, girl, do your thing, get your money, all of it. She's eating it up. And the waiter comes, he brings the bill. He looks at me and he's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's put the check, sir. And she gave me the most disgusted look, like crazy. And I'm just like,
This is what I'm talking about.
so you're strong and independent until the bill comes. Okay.
Oh, this is, and you know what, guys? This is the issue that I have with modern feminism. I'm not going to get too much into this, but I think people like to pick and choose, right?
I mean, it's kind of funny though, like what the guy did. I mean, let's be honest, that is. But I mean, it's like she's trying to play. He's trying to play back in her face. That is pretty funny, but it's like really, like if someone's changing the subject on you, it's like, you know, it's probably a sign that they're not interested in you because of what you said, and you don't go. And if you want to get a man on a first date, like, why would you tell them that? Oh, I'm a strong, independent woman. I shouldn't say that. Like, that's good to say you're a strong, independent woman. Don't get me wrong, it is. But you don't need to go on about like, oh, if you want a man, you don't need to go on about like this rant about, oh, how I hate men, all men. I had, like you don't need to do that.
they're strong and independent. They don't need a man until the bill comes and they want the man to pay for it because that's what society has told them is okay. But then you can demand other things and pick and choose what you want to do. Bill Burr, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he did an amazing segment on this. I can't remember what he said specifically, but basically it's the fact that, I think sometimes women like to pick and choose what they do. So they'll say things like, I don't need a man, I'm strong and independent, boss lady, boss whatever. But then they expect a guy to pay for all their stuff. You want everything to be equal until it's time for you to fork up the money to pay for the bill. I think it's also really funny. I know this doesn't really have anything to do with this video, but it's just something that I think about sometimes. The girls who say, I don't need a man, or like hot girl summer, or I'm so independent, are the ones who have OnlyFans, where the only reason they're making money is because men are giving them money. Or women who have sugar daddies who are paying for all their
That's
bills and
totally
all of
true.
their stuff, but they're so independent and self-sufficient, right? That's not what being independent is. That's not what being a boss girl is. And it's just funny because I think a lot of girls are like this example he gave in this video, where they talk all this stuff, they say all this stuff, and then when the time comes to pay for it, they don't actually want that. And I think a lot of people pretend to want certain things because society deems those things as approved or okay. And I don't want it to sound like I'm sitting here bashing women, but I also think it's important that we hold ourselves accountable for things. And you can't sit on an entire date and talk about how you're a boss lady and you're so independent and you don't need a man even though you're out on a date with one, and then get upset when you have to pay half the bill. This is being equal. This is what it looks like.
You had a great date over the week.
I mean, that is totally true. Yeah, you don't need I get it, being strong, independent. Totally. You should stand up for yourself. Honestly, and like have the financial stability to be like on your own. And, you don't, like, in a relationship, you shouldn't need, like, the other person to make you happy. You should be happy in life. I think you should be before you go on, like, a date. I don't care who you're dating. A man, a woman, if you're straight, you're lesbian, bisexual, transgender, gay, anything basically. It doesn't matter who you are in this life. Honestly, you should be like financially independent, and be like, I don't need a man in life. Yeah, to be like in my life. But you don't have to have a man in your life. I should say. You know, don't just treat you like, oh, I don't need a man. Be financially strong and independent. Like, I get that. You want someone that's going to fulfill your life. But come on, don't just be like, oh, oh, I want a man to pay for my food. I want to be financially strong and independent. And I want to be a strong, independent woman just in general. But yeah, and then when the guy asks, hey, let's split the bill 50-50, like, and then you get upset about it. It's like, no, no way. That's like a no for me. It's like a divorce or a dump for me on date one. Absolutely.
Half the bill. This is being equal. This is what it looks like.
And that's true. You should be. You got in life. Everything's gonna be fair. In marriage. In like an actual real marriage. Have you seen like your parents when you were a kid? Like your mom, your dad. You have two moms. You have two dads. Whatever the case is. Did you see them like compromise and work things out and stuff like that? And they offered to like pay for one time. Like one of them would pay for something. Like say the mom would pay for something one time, and the dad would pay the next time. They would split the cost of stuff. That's all. That's how it should be. But
You had a great date over the weekend. Mm-hmm. It's Wednesday now and you haven't heard from him. What do?
You hold a funeral for him, so just go and get some nice flowers and maybe invite a friend over and just lay him to rest, because if he hasn't texted you from the weekend, from Saturday, and it's Wednesday, he is dead to us, and that's okay, because there's another Brad or Chad right around the corner.
Ooh, okay.
I get that is true. Yes, I get that, because if they don't text you like, hey, say like Saturday you had a date, like wherever it was, And then like on Sunday, they're like, "Hey, like, did you have fun?" Like something like that. Like maybe even ask them like a simple question, like be honest. If you were like didn't really get along, you could be honest and say like, "Yeah, I really didn't get it. Like I really wasn't feeling it." Um, um, good luck or something in future endeavor or something like that. Like basically something like that. I could see that, but it's like the ending. It's like, and yeah, obviously I don't want a man. I don't want a woman. I don't want anyone in life. They're not willing to if they don't text you for like 4 days. Like yeah, yeah, 4 days. It's like yeah, I get that. They're pretty much goners, which is true. I wouldn't want if I had a woman in my life. Yeah. Oh, if she didn't text in 4 days, I get that. Like just read the text and that was it. Didn't even like respond to anything though. I get it, but
I think she's just being funny. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I've actually seen some of her other TikToks, and she's not like the worst thing ever. I actually really like her, but I think here it's such a double standard. This is another aspect where I think sometimes girls want to pick and choose. They want things to be, equal and 50-50, which is amazing. I think we should be
that's
equal,
true.
men
Should
and
honestly.
women. It is what it is, but you don't get to pick and choose. So if you go on a date with someone and you have a good time, why are you just relying on the guy to text you? You should be.
I mean, oh yeah, that is true too. Because yes, but if you text them, say, I mean, yeah, you shouldn't just rely on like the guy to text you. Maybe that's like the polite thing to do, or you hear that like, oh, men should text first, back, text you back first about it. Okay, but if they don't respond to you, like if you if like they're supposed to respond to you, say first, or you hear that, and then they don't respond back to you, like for a while, wouldn't you respond back to them, or wouldn't you text them? I should say. I would. If they didn't respond to me, say Sunday. Most of the day Sunday. Maybe Sunday night I'd respond. I'd respond to one. I text them about the first date. On Saturday night that you had. I would. But I don't know. I guess to each their own.
Putting in a little bit of effort too. If you had a good time, text them and tell them that you had a good time. If you didn't, maybe say you didn't have a good time or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
be
Like,
honest.
you can't just expect someone else to do all of the work. And I will say this to all the guys watching. My advice for you, if you have a good date with someone, don't let your ego get in the way. Don't start playing all these games where you wait a certain amount of time to text her or whatever it is. Just send the text. If you're a guy or girl watching this, whoever it is, if you went on a date and you had a good time, stop playing all the games. Stop trying to manipulate people. Stop thinking, okay, I have to wait 5 hours to text him, or I can't text him until it's been 2 days because I don't want him to think I'm desperate. It's not desperate. If you had a good time with someone, let them know. And by playing games and being annoying, you're not getting anywhere. And you're just going to keep attracting people who play games and manipulate you. So I would highly recommend, if you're a man or a woman watching this, if you go on a date and you had a good time, text them and tell them that you had a good time so that you can avoid this situation altogether. Girls, don't be afraid to be the one that texts a guy first. And guys, don't feel like you need to wait until she texts you, because chances are she's probably not going to, and this is the reason why. It's just such a double standard. It's just so silly to me. All the expectations, and people want to be picky and choosy about all these different things, but they want to be equal. If it's equal, then you both should be putting in the same amount of effort, and you should be reciprocating the effort that someone's putting into
Totally.
you. And if you feel like it's not being reciprocated, then you have to say bye-bye. It's really not rocket science. Ay, ay, ay. Well, you guys, this wasn't as bad as the last batch of videos that I watched. I think this is just a little bit more of a societal problem. I think feminism plays a huge role in this. I think modern men and women play a huge role in this. I think there's just so many games and manipulation and double standards and a whole bunch of problems. So I would love to get a conversation going down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like
Okay. But yeah, I mean, that is so true. I mean, like honestly, like if you're like whoever you think should text first, you're the man, you're the woman, whoever you think should text first. If you think like the woman should text first as a man, and then as a woman, You think the man should text first? Like, don't wait, Honestly, don't wait. If they haven't texted you back, and honestly, it's true. Like, don't play games. Like, if you're gonna play games with me, be like, I have to wait. Oh, I seen this video on Instagram that said I had to wait 2 days in order to text a man. Don't text the man back. Say 2 days or 24 hours even. I have to wait 24 hours in order after the first date so he doesn't think I'm desperate. Or I have to wait, say, yeah, like she said, 5 hours between text messages, between time he texts me, time I text him back. So I'm like desperate. It's like no, because honestly, if you're gonna, it's true. You gotta have equal communication, and like be honest with them. If you had fun, like tell them. If you didn't have fun, tell them too. Like you should be open and honest with everyone. I don't know why, people want to like hate on communication. Be like, oh, the man's gotta do this, the woman's gotta do this.
Liked this video.
What? But yeah, going on to the last point. I mean, yeah, all this is so true. I mean, what they've said. I mean, what she said is really all true. I mean, but what the other people have said though. I mean, some of it's legit, like real, but I mean, some of it's like really though, like not texting first. I mean, you don't want 50-50, like equal 50-50 splits. Anyways, yeah, that's so true what they said. Pretty much. I mean, like Courtney Ryan said, they said it's true in parts, especially that second guy. It's true. That's all true. But the first one and the third one, some of it's kind of like, you know. But I don't know. Basically, the moral of the story is don't waste your time with. I don't care who you are. You're you're dating a man and woman relationship. You're two men, two women, transgender relationship, bisexual, I guess a gay, straight, lesbian. Doesn't matter, Honestly, just don't date someone that's gonna waste your time, and not treat you right, and treat you with respect, basically, and just not honest with you. Like, honestly, tell them if you didn't have fun in it. Honestly, if you don't have their phone number yet, but you have them on a dating app, tell them say a dating app. Text them back on the dating app. Message them, be like, didn't really get along, Yeah, I don't, I'm not gonna. Good luck in your future endeavors. Or if you have their number, text them. Or stuff like that. Just basically be honest with them. And if you enjoyed it, be honest with them. Don't play like games, because if you play games, you're going to get someone who plays games with you. And that's not fun. You know. Eventually you're gonna get people that just want to play games back and forth with you. And I don't want that, I don't.